Hey guys, so for today's video, I'm going to show you how I did these oil slick nails on myself. And the reason why I don't have a video showing how I did it on myself is because I just didn't film when I did this set. I filmed this and I did this set like so long ago. I think it was like, what is it? It's July now. I think I did this back in like May, maybe, or April. I don't know. One of the two. And I didn't have this set on for very long. I think I did this immediately after the Gel X set that I had done on myself, which I don't know if I showed myself doing the Gel X nails or not. Anyhow, I did a Gel X set on myself a couple months ago, and then I didn't leave those on for very long. I left them on for like a week or so, or 2 weeks. I think I just left them on for like a week, and then I did these ones that I have currently on my hand. Well, they're not currently on my hand, but in the video they're on my hand. Like right after that, and I just didn't film them because I kind of really didn't feel like filming them. Also, I was like, I already had all my videos filmed for a couple months, and I was just like, I don't really need to film these right now, but I really ended up liking how they came out, so I did end up deciding to film a video, and I'm just doing them on these little press-ons here. And to start off, I'm just doing a layer of black. I'm using the black from Ball Pit, just one coat of this because I am going to be putting some chameleon flakes on top of it, and you're not really going to see the black base anyhow. So one coat was good for that. And then I did cure it for 60 seconds. And like I said earlier, this set on myself was done back in like May, I think, March, May, April. Not March. It was like April or May, I think, is when, no, May was the space. I don't know, March or April, I think. I can't remember. Not that it matters. Anyhow, oh, after doing the black, I'm using these different chameleon flakes from the brand Let's Resin. I got them off of Amazon. I think it's like 5 jars. I used them all. There's like blue, purple. This one's lime. I think there's a green. And yeah, green. And then the last one is fuchsia. They all are kind of like duochrome flakes, kind of. So they have like 2 color shifts, which is really cool. And they give such a really cool effect. I used, I think, the lime one or the green one for that like bubble nail design that I did last month or the month before. I can't really remember. And then I used the purple or the blue one for a Coraline set that I did a couple years ago. But other than that, I haven't really used these very much, and I kind of forgot that I had them until recently. And I think they're so cool, and they're so fun to use, and you can do all kinds of cool stuff with them and have like cool different effects for them. And the way I'm doing this in the video is different than how I did it on myself. So here in the video, you're seeing me take this like eyeshadow applicator brush like you would use for chrome, and just dipping into the pots of the flakes, and then kind of dabbing them on to the nail. And then I do kind of like rub it in the same way that you would with chrome chrome just to kind of smooth them out a little bit, because if you look on my nails, you can kind of see each individual little flake, which I really liked and I thought it looked really good that way. But I wanted to see what would happen if I tried to rub them on to the nail instead and see if it would give a smoother finish like a chrome would. And it did. It wasn't as smooth as like if you were to use a chrome powder, but it definitely looked a lot smoother than how it does on my nails. I think I do show a comparison of that at the end. I thought I was getting ready to show a comparison there, but I didn't. But I'm pretty sure I show a comparison of like the difference between like my nails and these press-on nails. But like I said, you can just like tap the flakes onto the nail, or you can rub them in like I'm doing in the video. Kind of just depends on the kind of look you're going for when doing this design, or just the kind of look that you're going for in general when applying these kinds of flakes, whether you're doing like an oil slick design or just doing the entire nail with them, whatever it may be. You kind of just apply them however you want, depending on, you know, how you want them to look. Like I said, both ways look really cool. I was really liking how they looked on my nails, being able to see like all the different little flecks, but I was also liking how they looked on the press-ons that I was doing, because it did kind of give them more of that like shiny chrome-like look to them, rather than really being able to see each individual little flake. So again, just kind of depends on how you want them to look. And I don't think I mentioned this, but to apply them, you do want to make sure you have a sticky layer. So I'm just using the sticky layer from the gel polish after I cured it. You could also probably, well, if you're doing it this way, you just want the sticky layer, so you want to cure whatever gel you're using, like a base coat, or if you're using a color underneath, just leaving that sticky layer that's on there. But if you're just kind of like sprinkling the flakes on, you could just apply like a base coat or something and then sprinkle them on. You wouldn't really be able to rub them on afterwards, because they're just going to move around within the like base coat or whatever that you have on there, instead of like smoothing out. So if you do want to go the route of just sprinkling them on, then you could apply base coat, not cure it, and then sprinkle them on kind of like you would glitter or acrylic or something, and then cure it afterwards. But if you're doing something like this where you're dabbing on the flakes or like rubbing them on, you definitely want to make sure you cure whatever base layer you did, and then just rubbing them on or like dabbing them on to that sticky layer to get them to stick on to the nail. And really, that's it for this design, or like this type of nail art. It's super simple, super easy. And honestly, you don't really have to do a black background if you didn't want to. You could use whatever color background you want. It is going to show up differently depending on, or well, I don't know if it'll show up differently. I imagine it would. I would imagine it'd be like if you were to apply a chrome powder or even like cat eye onto different colored backgrounds like black, white, or if you were to do like blue, green, purple, you know, like that. I imagine it would have the same effect there, where like the base color would maybe shine through a little bit, or like just have like some sort of effect on the flakes. But also, I don't really know, because I've never used them on anything other than black, I don't think. I can't remember how or what color base I did for the Coraline nails. because I might have done, I'm pretty sure I did a black base on those, just because I feel like stuff like this tends to look better on a black base in my opinion. But like I said, you can use whatever color base you want. But after I got all of these flakes on, I'm just taking my shiny top coat from LGN and applying that to all of them. And then once I get that on, I do cure for 60 seconds. But I was mentioning earlier, this video was filmed so long ago. I don't know, I've just kind of been sitting on it. It wasn't really originally going to be a video that I had filmed, like I said, because I had just done them real quick on myself. But I was really liking how they looked, and I felt like maybe you guys would want to see something like this, because they do just kind of look really cool, and they definitely give the like oil spill or like oil slick kind of look, which is really cool. And I don't know, maybe someone out there is curious on how to do this type of look, and this could be helpful for them. Although there are several different ways of doing like an oil spill look or an oil slick. You could use like normal chrome powders for that, or you can use these flakes. Either way, they're going to be a mess, because chrome powder has all that fallout, and then these flakes also have a whole bunch of fallout. That's why I had a paper towel down underneath when I was doing it, so then all those flakes that had fallen out could be caught by the paper towel, and it'd be a whole lot easier cleanup. Although I do have a silicone mat down, and I could just wipe it off with some acetone and it would clean it right up, but I kind of didn't want to do that, and it's a lot easier to just have them fall onto like a piece of paper or a paper towel or something, and then you can just throw that away. Or if you're doing like one single color, then you could maybe save some of those flakes and like dump them back into the jar if you wanted to. But I just threw the paper towel away when I was done. And once that's cured, this is the finished result. I mean, you were already kind of seeing how they looked on my nails, but they do look a little different because of the way that I did put them on. Like, you still can see some of the flakes, especially like the bigger chunks. But if you look at my thumbnail versus like the press-on, you can tell that like the press-on is a little more smooth, and you're not really seeing all those different little flaky pieces. I also kind of feel like it is a little hard to see. I felt like I was seeing more of a difference in person, whereas I kind of feel like on camera it almost looks the same, although I can still kind of tell the difference like between the two and the two different techniques. But I do think this is a super cool, really easy design. Like, it looks super complicated, and like it took you so long to do, and like some like really intense complicated technique or something, when really it isn't. It's super easy. You just throw some flakes onto your nails and be done. Or like I said, you could use different colored chrome powders and do kind of the same thing, and just kind of rub them onto the nail any kind of way you want and get the same kind of oil spill kind of look. But I had these flakes on hand, and I wanted to see, you know, what I could do with them. They look super cool in the dark under the flash. Like, it was really giving oil spill and under the flash like this. And then they also look really cool in the sunlight. In the sunlight, you can really see all the different colors. I also feel like this was really giving oil spill as well, especially like, you know, when a car is leaking oil and it leaves that puddle. So I just think these are a really cool set, and they give a lot without like really having a lot. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.